Hey, good morning, George, Valerie, Arturo, Mark, Don, Chris. Good morning. It depends on what you consider repair trades. I mean, most of the stuff I'm just kind of sitting on. I did liquidate my Apple shares in the pre-market for profit. Liquidated my TSLL, long, leveraged long Tesla shares in the pre-market, and liquidated some ES spreads I had for, I guess, small loss, barely above break even. Well, I guess two of them were super profitable because I had sold them for 44 and closed them for 16. But you know, it's just kind of the way it rolls. The market is kind of proving that we're going to go on down to the daily roadmap line more than likely. That's yesterday. The close was just kind of like a barely a save, but then the pre-market kind of indicating that the direction's down. So kind of have to go with what the chart tells us. So that was entirely a possibility. And morning, mahalo. Morning, Dan. Morning, Donald. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're prepared for the pullback. It was one of the possibilities. It was not my primary choice, but looks like it is now. So looks like we are probably going down to the roadmap line. I'll talk about there's one little possibility that may save it. I'll talk about it, but I mean, in the pre-market, there were two stocks making my bullish list and like 30 or 40, mostly tech stocks making the biggest loser list. And pretty rough. Anyway, let's pop over here. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Always. I mean, always a substantial risk of loss. Past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results. I may never get it right again. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, and fun. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument out there at all. Don't buy and anything else. Not in the financial instrument realm. You don't buy stuff from people. Sit on it overnight. Think about it. Now, if you want to hang out with me, I do charge for my time, and the link is in the description. But you don't have to buy anything. You just come watch this on YouTube. Build the trust. Once you trust me, then maybe you make a decision to join me further. So, but if you desire that personal financial advice, you just don't know what to do on your own, you got to hire and consult a financial advisor. So there you go. Morning, Muku. Morning, Hannah. Morning, Philip, Billy, Warren, Larry. If you want to chat with me on the live stream, all you got to do, hit the subscribe button right over, let's go right here, right where the monster can is, the ghostly monster can, because it's turquoise, and the green screen behind me. Like make myself disappear. So that is a mango right there. Why it's in a turquoise can for mango, I don't know. Pretty tasty though. I like the mango. All right. Anyway, back to the charts. So look at what we have on the S&P. Why does it always throw up I don't know. Looks like we're going down in the purple. I'm probably even going to take these off at this point because these are unlikely. Now, like I said, there is one little possibility. We'll talk about it here in a moment. It's particularly present in the futures chart for S&P, not in this chart. This chart looks like it's telling us we're going down. Now we could find support right in here. This would be another support level right around this 44.22, 44.40, possibly as low as 4,400 right there. That little zone could be support. Maybe. I give that a low probability. I think if we get down here, we're probably going to reach on down to the roadmap line. All right, that hanging out right around 4,300 at this point. 42, I guess 42.70 up to about 4,300. Probably take us a few more days to get there, possibly the rest of the month. Could have some bumps, and we could get a rally back, a 618 retrace, hold that, turn down, and then watch out below. Those are entirely possible. We could get another one of these right here. We see a opposite way, big drop, retrace deeply, and then drop out. So we could get another one of those happening on the downside here. Where does this purple line come from? Look right here. That first initial drop right there. Projected right off of here. Can take us right down here. Right in the zone, auto zone. Anyway, there you go. You know, looking at it candle-wise, S&P, I drew that line in the sand. We poked into it yesterday, softening it up. It looks like here in 10 minutes, we're going to find out. We're about to find out what's going to happen here. And it looks like probably going down here. I mean, that was my initial... When we started down, I did kind of expect us to come down to the roadmap line. Came up shy, bouncing at the consolidation, came up, did a little better than a 618 retrace, and rolling down again. So, there could be a head and shoulders, but I guarantee you, when everybody sees it, when everybody sees the head and shoulders, when you start seeing it posted on like mainstream media type places, it's probably not going to play out. It's probably going to do the inverse thing, like the rejection thing. That's the inverse, the rejection. So if, you know, we're sitting here looking at the daily, you got this thing cooking, we come down here, we poke below, it could very well do the rejection pattern, which is just like this, you know, coming back up like that. Take us up to a new high, and then we go down again. Just be careful. Be careful counting on things. Let it prove it. Know when you're wrong. Like when we come back up through, like if we get below it, when we come back up through the neckline, that's the danger zone, right? We may dip down, retest that consolidation there, and then rip it out. So this is an Elliott wave pattern, but this isn't really a 4, 5, 1, 2 necessarily. It could be, but this one's not as clear over here as, so I would be careful. Much higher probability we bounce off that roadmap line. You know, we bounced off the 4-hour, came up, stalled out, probably going down for the daily, although there is the possibility that we just hold the higher low right here, hold that higher low at the roadmap line and blast off. That's still a slight possibility. I mean, that's still, I don't know, slight. It's still a possibility. There's still a few paths forward here. So, caution. Now, as for what's moving today, let's refresh the lists because it seems to never refresh itself. Now, yes, I want to talk about this right here. Let's jump down. Jump down in here. May have gone too low. So this right here, this was a sloppy but rough 5 waves up. Sloppy but, 3 waves down. Sloppy but 5 waves up. And this could be, put this on the bottom here. Put this on the top right here. That can be a 618 retrace. So we possibly, there's still the possibility in here. This is what I want to share, I guess. This could be the first move up, retrace. And then this could be the one of the 3. This could be a 1, 2, and this could be a 3, but this was the 1, 2 in that 3. This is sitting here. It's not as clear in the cash index, which a lot of people give more credibility to, since that's the official, and this is a derivative of the ES. ES is the derivative of the S&P 500. So, this holding the 618 right here is like this zone could result in a measured bounce. Bouncing out of this zone right here. Measured bounce would look something like this from right here. 46.68 would be the next kind of target up here for the next move. If we bounce, be something like this, possibly as high as 47.30. And it could go really fast because that's a 1-2-1-2 potential. Now, if we get below this zone, that's off the table. You know, this could pull down to here. Could do a 786 retrace. That's still entirely possible that we could go that deep, especially since this one was very deep, much deeper than the 618 retrace. We run this over here. Technical, nerdy stuff. You can see we pushed right down into the 786, just below it, and then ripped off. If we do that again, it can be very powerful or move up to that 4,700 potential area right there. All right, so that does still sit in the chart, a bullish potential. So I'm going to be watching this very closely, give you updates in Discord all day on the development here. But from just the high level daily chart that I've been talking about for weeks and weeks, that's the higher probability path at this point. There's a slim chance that we hold it and bounce, but that's the one I'm kind of banking on right now. That's why I liquidated my Apple shares, liquidated the long Tesla long, leverage long. Just kind of wait and see which direction we prove this out to be. Looks like we could go down here. I can pick that stuff back up, a little better prices. So just be careful. It's not being wrong that costs you money. It's staying wrong. So just remember, if you're super bullish right now, at what point are you wrong? Are you wrong when we close below the roadmap line? Are you wrong? Are you wrong when we close below here? Are you where are you wrong? Have that line in the sand. Put the alerts. Stick to your alerts. Don't be like, I mean, this is where it always costs me money. When I'm like, it's only $1 below my alert. It'll turn around, and the next thing you know, oh, well, it has turned around $10 below my alert. You know, that's for sure, right? And the next thing you know, oh, well, it's not going to go below $20 below my alert. And then next thing you know, it just costs you a bunch of money. Be careful. Please be careful. NASDAQ, this is looking pretty wicked here. It's one reason why I was seeing acceleration in NASDAQ after it held up really well for several days. Wasn't really participating in the pullback. Now it seems to be accelerating. I went ahead and liquidated that Apple because I just wasn't feeling it this morning. And like I said, there's like 2, maybe 3 items on the bullish list and like 30 on the bearish list. And I had to limit what I put on the bearish list just so I wasn't talking about it all day. Russell, flip back up to the daily, make the chart look better. And it's still got a bunch of crap on here, but looks like we're going down to this zone right there. We found support several times right there. We get below that level. Almost guaranteed that we're going to come down here to about 1750. You may be like, JT, what the heck is RTY? That's the Russell 2000 IWM right there. There is a gap down for OBA players, and we may see a little pop, but if we get any kind of relief rally after the open, gap could fill quickly. But right now, looking like we're going down. That was a 50 retrace and measured bounce style. Same thing I was talking about S&P wise. Puts us right down here at the target, 1750, 1755. Right there. You see it, 1758. That's the measured bounce target. And if we get any kind of extension, could take us down to 1714. You know, basically when we break those lows right there, game on. All right. Hey, Sledge. Hey, Arthur. Rongenberg. Morning, everybody. Oil consolidating right here above the 1272. Always a little bit of resistance here. Next pop, probably going to take us to 89, almost 90. And then we could just break out and run right up to 94. So that's the upside target right there. Upside target Yeah, I mean, there's lots of head and shoulders. You just got to be careful. They're not guaranteed to work. They work when they work. They don't when they don't. Just keep it in mind. That's not my primary pattern I look for. I just, they show up. I mean, you see kind of one forming in gold right there too. Not very good because the neckline's all jaggedy. Kind of breached the neckline here. So another one showing up there, although this could be just, could be working on an inverse head and shoulders. Could be working on something to pop. Watching for that to hold the roadmap line and break out above this consolidation. Then this consolidation or resistance. And it was consolidation over here. Resistance here. Break out, and sets us on the path. But right now, waiting. There's the market. Market is open and moving. Bitcoin still consolidating in this zone. Above this high. Below the roadmap line. We may see something like this, and then that. Ethereum, Ether, looks like it wants to go down to my target area. May see there's BTBT potentially breaking below my $2. May see that before we get a bounce on Ether. Dollar still continuing the march, probably going up here. That's the target, up there around 108, 109. AI was dropping on earnings. Lots of people thought we were going to pop. Looks like we're dropping, despite the good earnings. Beating on the top, beating on the bottom, losing tons of money. You can't run a business that loses a ton of money when money's expensive. Need to hold this support, otherwise coming on down. And you know what? That looks like 3 big waves up to resistance. That means continuation of the trend is down, which would be a lower low. How long that could take? It could take a while. Now, this getting below this zone right in here is one of the indications where we had this, where we had so much trouble getting up through. Back here, back here early in the year, in February, March, we had trouble, dipped and ripped on through and finding support there. But if we break back down below, can easily come lower low, especially since they lose money. All right. This is not like OpenAI. This is C3.AI. All right. Just because it's been going up doesn't mean it has to continue going up. They lose tons of money. And name one product that you use every day that they're making money off of. I mean, they're not. They're losing money. Be careful. That's pretty bad. It's getting worse. We're doing more business and losing more money. And that's a great plan. Dumpster fire. Be careful. Stuff actually moving today. WHRL right up to the roadmap line. That is still bearish. It's got a lot of work to do. Could it break out? Sure, it could. Is it more likely to go down again? Yeah. Based on that chart. Not a bullish chart. And we do frequently come back up to the roadmap line and dip. Back up to the roadmap line, dip. Back up to the roadmap line, dip. Back to, hadn't been there in a while. Back up to the roadmap line. Till it proves that we're getting above this stuff up here. The pattern's still down. WRK, West Rock. Oh, it was popping pre-market. Looking a little gnarly. We could. Wrap to the 618. Turn down here, we're going lower. If we can break above at 618, we could go higher. So Targets down here, or potentially we get above here. We could either do this, or if we can get above here, go up here. A little bit smaller upside than there is potential for a downside at this moment. That's why you want to wait for a move up through about 34.50 to tip the odds toward 36. DBI, nice pop. Probably going to retrace that back out. Looking like can't fight the market. 80 to 90% of everything is going to go with the direction of the market. Whatever the S&P is doing, that's what the market's going to do. RCLF, big pop, probably going to drop right back down. That's just that's a SPAC, I'm pretty sure, with the acquisition corp thing in there. CBay, it's like eBay except for biotech, right? Little pop, probably going to drop back down. I don't play biotechs. And just like gambling, because you just don't, you never get the full picture because all the industry secrets and stuff. NVDS, I'm still long my shares. They're profitable now because I'm at 36 and that's now at 37. I'll probably liquidate at 39. Well, there's my alert, 39.60. So I think my order's at 39.40. ASML. Looks like that one's going to go deeper. Support down here. Couldn't hold the roadmap line. Going deeper. LRCX. Probably going to come back to the roadmap line there. Had the head and shoulders. Inverse one. Kind of sloppy. Not very great. And came up here and may drop back down. May come back to the roadmap line though and continue on. Hard to know. NVIDIA, if you haven't heard that I've been kind of a little bearish on NVIDIA, expecting this crazy valuation to get corrected back out a little bit. I mean, look, 37 price to sales. That means take all their sales. It's going to take 37 years of all their sales just to cover the stock price, not counting any cost. That's if 100% of total revenue was gross profit. So, do I think they're growing that fast? Probably not. Probably not. Retrace, highly likely. Just be careful. I mean, I'm not saying it can't go higher. It can go higher. It can be crazy. It can stay irrationally, it can go irrationally higher. Eventually, it's coming back down. AVGO, probably coming back down to the roadmap line. Showed resistance once, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. We get below this low, probably coming down here at least. FNGU may take another trip down to the roadmap line. That's a leveraged. Leveraged stuff doesn't always follow the patterns. Be careful. That head and shoulders did work out. It was really sloppy and fast, but it worked right to the target. It doesn't, and it could be working on another one. Look at this. Look right here. Could be working on another one. If that plays out, take it right up to the 1272. Look at that. Beautiful. It's a higher low scenario on FNGU. SMCI, probably coming back to the roadmap line. Tesla, holding up pretty well. I liquidated. That doesn't mean you got to liquidate. I'm still holding my March calls on TSLO. I just liquidated the shares. It was in a small account. Didn't really want it to go negative on me. And just waiting. I can always buy them back on a break back above the conservative entry at 270. This may just chop around in here. No telling. That's not damaged at this point. It just made me nervous. So Adobe, I had the shares in a small account. I have the calls in a longer term, bigger account. Adobe getting a little pullback, making the biggest loser list today. Lots of stuff down, you see down 15, 11, 23, 8, 14, 3, 6 right here. Apple down 6, right back to the roadmap line. If it holds, beautiful. If it doesn't hold, watch out below. We can get another, like that was a 618. This is a measured bounce, like, and it's kind of saying we're going to play it out here. Watch out for a move down to 164. That's why I was liquidating those Apple shares. Possibly 158. A target down in this zone right here at this point. Watch for a deeper move on Apple. And our buddy Microsoft is not reacting like Apple is. So Microsoft holding up really well. Google holding up really well. Still at the highs even. Look at that. These weren't on the list. Amazon holding up really well. Still at the highs. Right in the vicinity. High consolidation is still lagging the performance. Like we didn't get up through the August high like we did on NASDAQ and S&P. So SAIC reporting earnings and probably coming back to the roadmap line. At that point, or at this point, 1, 2, roadmap line puts it right at the proportions. VRNT, yeah, the SAIC would be one to watch for a bounce off the roadmap line. Right there. If we bounce here and go higher, that can take us, I mean, look, that's been pretty bullish, even though the consolidations take a while, or have been taking a while. Like that next move up, 127, 132, not too bad. Funny enough, my engineering company, this is the parent. We're my family engineering company is a spinoff of SAIC. Bet you didn't know that, did you? My dad worked for SAIC and took part of their business and spun it off into a separate company. Back in the 83. BRNT going down in a blaze of glory. We used to go to SAIC company picnics. It was kind of fun. Netflix holding up well. May pop up to the... Probably going to take till earnings, but probably going to pop up and fill that gap eventually. May revisit the bottom one more time. Then may wait for the roadmap line to come up here. It could be that the roadmap line has to get up here at some point in the future before we can bounce. So this may come down in this zone before we can go, and it may be into that earnings, and then we get the pop right up to the top. QQQ. Be careful. We can definitely see a move down to the roadmap line. It's overlapping that high, which is not great. That can be continuation lower. Right now, that's 3 big waves up. Be careful. Be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful. This is a treacherous pattern in the markets right now. Yesterday mucked it up. Like it muddied it up really good. Made it very unclear. So I'm just being cautious on everything today. PDD looks like it wants to retrace, but it can always go for that 115 up there. Baidu. Right back to the roadmap line and a big gap. That's just a volatile, choppy, hot mess of bullcrap. Be careful. Chasing that one. STX. Right back to the roadmap line. Failed to do. Failing to start. That may be a rejection. Remember, I started out talking about the head and shoulders rejection pattern. If we break back below that neckline, Downside target like 36. Be careful on that one. Don't chase that one long. Especially if we break, it's not being wrong. I haven't bet on that. Yeah, that was beautiful. Retest. Try to go right back to the neckline. That'd make me nervous. And then we get below the neckline. Watch out below. Skyworks Solutions. There's a lift company in town. It's called Skyworks. That may be a national company. I don't know. But it always messes with me. You going down the road, going by downtown, when you pass by their place with 9 godzillion of those cherry picker lift things, they all say Skyworks on them. I'm like, it's not the Skyworks that makes the news all the time. That's just a choppy sideways retrace. Nothing so far. AMKR. Man, choppy sideways. Be careful. QCOM, choppy sideways. Nothing. That was a wedge pattern that might break to the downside. But it got sloppy. ROL. There's another head and shoulders type pattern. Looks like it's going down to the target. Little baby one. Little baby shoulder. Yeah, already down past the target. Ouch. Right back to the lows. SMH. Just chop it in there. XOM probably it's not on the list. I don't usually take requests during the morning show. We'll see if it's moving. If it's not moving, I'm not going to say much about it. Mostly looking for stuff moving today on the morning show. AMAT looks like it may retrace. That head and shoulders would play out up here, but watch for a retrace back to the roadmap line to build up energy to continue the march higher. That could take well out and into next year to get up there. Baba. And just getting potentially breaking out below the channel line there. We don't hold that channel. Watch out below. Come all the way back down here. China news. Are they cooking the books? I don't know. XLK looks like let's see. Target was yeah, roadmap line. Peanut butter roadmap line. There we go. It looks like where we're headed on that one. Doesn't have to, but that's what it looks like. AMD still holding up really well. We hold above that 90, that line in the sand, 96. The odds are we're probably going up, but at this point, if you're not long already, wait for a break back through that line. Maybe back through that high. That'd be the aggressive entry, conservative entry up here. Looking for a move up to 141, possibly 150. If we break below 96, probably going down to 77 to 80 area. TECL. Leveraged, be careful. But that looks like it wants to come back down. That's the list. Let's see, XOM. Not really moving much. Stuck in the resistance. There's my comment. Not moving much. Nvidia rumors. I mean, like when Nvidia, circling back through the comments here, I was reading a little bit out of the corner of my eye, but yeah, Nvidia, when you're sitting at this kind of valuation, it doesn't take much to rock the boat and spook people. I mean, 37 times sales. I mean, like, I mean, look back here. Right here. Biden announced they were going to reduce or increase export restrictions. They didn't even do it yet. They just announced it. And whoo, right there. I mean, look how far that dropped. Maybe like, yeah, but that was the not a recession, right? So what was that? AI hype? I mean, I'm just telling you, that was one wicked move up. We're due a retrace. All right, that little thing I've drawn on there isn't even that big compared to how far we've been moving. Just be careful. Just be careful. Just be careful. All right, bias for the day. Let's talk about this before we wrap it up here. Wrap it up. I'll take it. So, this is indicative that we're going on down. All right. The futures chart does have that potential that we could bounce. It's there. If we spend any time mucking around in here, it's tipping the scales. All right. Be careful. I'm no longer extremely bullish. Right now I'm kind of coin flip zone. A little bit of a roll the dice. It could save the pattern. Could be this nested move I was talking about on the 30-minute or 15-minute, whatever it was. I can do it on the 30-minute too. Could very well. Since that was a higher low, this could be another higher low. We could save that zone right there and go higher. All right. That would be a wild pattern right there. If we do that, it's lower in the likelihood right now. Higher likelihood is that we just come on down to the daily roadmap line. This is the high probability target at the moment, or for everything I do. That's why I liquidated some stuff. Just gonna sit and wait. I'm gonna sit and wait, and it's gonna be I may add stuff like my green light income alerts. May put a couple of those on as we drop down in here. Be careful. I have to look for the pricing, see what I think. Just be careful. All right. This is time to be cautious. This is not clear in the market at the moment. It was being I was kind of cautious with this 5 days sitting there. And I was like, not the best. I really wanted to see the poke up and a retrace, but nope. It went for the deeper move. And we kind of overlapping this little high over here already, which is no bueno for continuation higher. So if we're going higher, it's sloppy. If we go on down here, we flush it out and clean up the pattern. Then we can go bullish. So, but this could take the rest of September. All right. That could definitely take in even in October. So keep coming back. I'll keep updating you. We have an FOMC meeting coming up. We have CPI, we have PPI. We got lots of potential market moving news coming up in the following weeks. I'll be back live again tomorrow morning, looking for what's moving tomorrow. This could flush out quick and we could turn and burn. I mean, entirely possible. It's all possible. Just know when you're wrong, all right? It's not being wrong, it's staying wrong. Don't stay wrong. Have a great day, everybody.